what I have in the back of my car right now is going to blow your mind. Blow your mind. I'm still tripping out over what I just found. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look. Let's open the whole thing. This doesn't look good. Alright. Look. Not one box like this morning. 1, 2, 3, and there was a pile on the ground and I just threw them in the back. That was the box that was there this morning. So there's a whole story. I'll get into the story in a minute, but that's what I would have picked up this morning just by itself. The rest of this was when I got home, or when I came home. Most of this was. We're gonna look at them properly, but that, look how big that is. That is full. I think there's a few discs in there too. VHS tapes, and look at that. That's rare. There's no tape in there, but it's probably in here somewhere. Let's get this stuff into the Neon Doom room and go through it. How awesome is that? I'm still spitting out.
That's gold, Jerry. Gold!
G'day YouTube, it's Neon Doom here, back in the Neon Doom room. And as promised, I have that big find where it was boxes of stuff in the back of my car. And it is still an absolutely monumental find for me, so I was not exaggerating, but let's talk about it. Story time. But basically one day I was driving to work. I had picked up my boss, well not my boss but my manager, because he needed a lift for a couple of weeks, and I picked him up and I was driving past my house again and down one of the side roads, and it's in a suburban area, and as I was driving down that road I was talking to him and noticed in the distance, because my eyes are always roving when you're a collector, you know, your eyes are always roving, looking for anything interesting on the side of the road. My eyes roved across to the other side of the road. As I sort of veered around a corner, I saw a box sitting on the side of the road. I really wish I'd filmed some of this stuff, but I didn't. There was a box, just one box, kind of large but not too large, sitting on the side of the road, and I immediately thought in my head, they look like either DVDs or VHS. Probably more like VHS because of the size, piled up inside the box. And immediately I kind of turned to my boss and I went, oh my god, I think that's VHS tapes or DVD. Should I pull over? Maybe I need to pull over. I'll go and get it now. And he looked at me, I was so surprised. He looked at me and I don't think he knew what to say. He's a nice guy, by the way. I'm not dissing him at all when I say this, but he looked at me kind of like, we're probably going to be late for work if we stop. And I would have had to park on the left hand side and run across to the right hand side, dodge traffic and check, and then grab the box, then put in the boot, and then get back in and drive again. And I was conflicted. I was very conflicted, because I was like, what do I do now? I think this is all split second stuff. And I'm looking at him and he was looking at me like, nah, well, if you really want to, but I don't think we should. That was the look he was giving me. And I resigned myself to it. I just went, okay, forget it. Maybe I'll be lucky and it'll be there later. Which, you know, we know how that turns out as a rule. Everything I ever leave behind always goes. Come back later, it's gone. And I just was internally kicking myself, just going, stuff it, I'll just leave it, you know, I don't have time, I will probably be a little bit late if I stop and get it. So I just drove around that corner, hit the main road, and off we went. The whole drive to work I was thinking about it and kind of kicking myself about it. Anyway, finished work for the day. When we got to the car at work, I said to him, wouldn't it be funny if that box was still there? And I knew when I said it that I knew it wouldn't be. But I said, wouldn't it be funny if that box was still there? And I said to him, I mean, I don't think it's going to be there. I mean, with my luck, I've resigned myself to the fact that it's gone. Anyway, so we drove home, and when I got close to that corner, I was like, all right, look out for the box. I thought it was like closer to the end of the corner. And as I turned the corner, I went, nah, it's not there. And drove up the street because I thought it was like within eye shot of the end of the street. And he goes, no, it was around the corner last time I saw it. It was at another side street, not the one up there. And I went, no, so I'm sure it was right where I could see it. I'm pretty sure it's gone. We went around the corner and there was a bunch of parked cars on the left, and he goes, no, it was around here. And I went, but there's all cars here. And then as I passed the cars, I'll just check. And I said that verbally. I said, oh, I'll just look. I looked behind myself as I was driving. And I was like, oh my God, it's there still. There was the cars that were parked on the side, one after the other, that weren't there in the morning, that blocked my vision of the box. Well, this time it wasn't a box, it was boxes. I mean, the box I saw was like a medium-sized large box, quite large. And what I saw immediately were 3 boxes. One small box, the same medium box, and a huge box. I mean, it was a quick look that I had, but I could almost tell straight away they were all VHS tapes, and there was even some on the side of the road just lying on the grass. I literally immediately just went, man, I got to pull over. And he goes, no, that's cool, you do that. And I pulled up and I reversed up, looking over my shoulder, and my excitement was building up. And I jumped out. I even left the engine on. I didn't even bother to actually park properly. I just left the engine on, jumped out, ran over, and yep, 3 boxes full of VHS. I mean, like, I don't know what's at the bottom of them, but the tops were full of VHS tapes. Now, just as a backstory, just to put that into context for you, in my suburb and the surrounding suburbs, I am constantly looking at hard rubbish and things that are dumped, constantly. And when we were in lockdown for COVID, and I was walking around the neighborhood a lot in my spare time, I was always looking, hoping, like imagining what would happen. Like, could there be somebody who would leave out a box of VHS tapes? That would be great, or something that I would like. Never, like, at least in the last, since I began thinking about it pre-COVID and through COVID, like what, 4 years or so? Nothing. Not even one VHS tape left out in a box that I could see. Nothing interesting in my area. So for me to find, not the one I saw in the morning, but 3 boxes left on the side of the road just blew my mind. Just like I couldn't even, like my boss was sitting in the car while I was just ranting, like an excited kid that had just found something amazing, like a toy that they always wanted. Like ranting incoherently about how amazing it was. He ended up jumping out and helping me because the big box is actually absolutely massive. You'll see it in the footage of what was in the boot of my car. It's huge. In fact, I barely managed to drag it into my studio. That's how large it was. I couldn't lift it. Well, that was hard work. The first 2 boxes were okay, manageable. That last box was absolutely ginormous. I'm like literally sweating. Anyway, so that's the story behind it. I'm sorry if that went on too long, but this will be a long video, or longer than I want. But there's too much. I'm not doing too many videos on this. I'm just going to do it in one go. We're going to go through them as quickly as we can, and we're just going to pull them out and stack them up, and we're going to look at them. So let's do this. I don't even know what's in the boxes, by the way. I'm just letting you know that I've seen what's on the top of each one and had a quick look, just like lifted a couple of them here and there just to see what might be underneath. There's some reasonable stuff. There are probably, I mean, look, my way of collecting is different to other people's. Some people might like more romance, some people might like more thrillers, some people might like a bit of a mix, but maybe on the lighter end, or some people have a mix and it's more on the heavy, scary end, like horrors and this and that. This seems like a mix. I haven't seen anything too like rare at this point. I mean, I did say in the video that the Tank Girl one was rare, but I did get mixed up with the Tank Girl Blu-ray. It's the Tank Girl Blu-ray that is like $150, $200, and it's really hard to find. So I do apologize if I mentioned that was rare. It is expensive still. It's around the $25 to $30 mark. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Let's get into looking at each one. I'm going to start with the smallest box. I'm not going to lift them in front of the camera. You'll see them in the pictures. They are very, the bigger ones are too heavy to lift up. Alright, let's just go through them. This is the small box because I can lift that. This is the small box. Now just to put that into context, this is the small box. I'll just pull the first one. Fight Club. A bit scuffed, but that's okay. We'll put it there. What's this one? I have no idea. I think it says Poodles episodes. something, I don't know. I'm not going to bother trying to go through it. It's even these kind of ones, the ones that are blank or have been used are even expensive now. I don't know why, but we'll have to check out what that is later. We'll watch them all and see what's on them all. Over Time, another one, Crocodile Dundee 2, and Homeward Bound. We'll do this one, Tank Girl. It is empty. I'm hoping it's in one of these boxes. Cool movie though. Very cool movie. In fact, the scene that I always remember probably more than any others, it's not even a big scene. It's just near the beginning when they get raided by Water and Power. Her boyfriend is wearing this cool shirt that I loved when I was a teenager, early 20s. That it's like a spider web. He's cut away all of the middle of it and it looks like a spider web. I tried to do it one time and I failed miserably. But this is a cool movie. Very, not what you would expect Tank Girl to be, being a Tank Girl fan, but it is a very cool movie anyway. We'll put that to the side, it's just a case. Minority Report. We've got to check they're all in here. Minority Report is in there. Look at this great Video Easy sticker. Good movie, by the way. Grease. Grease is in there. They'll all have to be wiped down. I did put some antibacterial wipes over here to go through. Gone in 60 Seconds, Nicolas Cage version of it, and it is in there. I can see it through the package. Yeah, Angelina Jolie. Cool. Alright, it's a bigger one, but that's okay. Don't know what this one had, no case. I don't know what it says. George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser. Sister Act 2. Somebody's had a real collection. So George of the Jungle and Sister Act 2. We'll put that with like one with the home movies. Flipper, exciting adventures filmed on location in Florida and the Bahamas. Maybe this Flipper. This looks really old. Flipper, I've never seen this before, but on the back it does have real footage, so I don't really know. The Family Man. Person obviously like Nicolas Cage. And back to front, it is in there though. Let's correct that. I hate it being back to front. Cool. Reasonable shape. Most of these are in reasonable shape. The Others, Nicole Kidman, I think it is. Yes, Nicole Kidman. The Others is in there. Cool. I think I might have seen this. I don't remember, to be honest. Too many movies. I've seen way too many movies. Meet the Parents. And it's in there, as you can see. Go through them later. It's a pretty funny movie. The Deli, Clerks Meet Smoke. Oh, it's got Ice-T in it. Mike Starr, Gretchen Mol, Jerry Stiller's in it. Cool. Matt Kiesler, Heather Matarazzo, Burt Young, Iman, and Heavy D. Sorry, I should have showed you. And it's actually a double up. So it's a double one. It's got the Deli and Return to Paradise. I love these double ones. There's Return to Paradise. I don't really remember this. The Midnight Express of the 90s. Interesting. Yeah, in there. Cool, good old double movie. This is just a case. It's pretty cool though, if I can find the thing. It's a cardboard box of the Daffy Duck. And Friends with Porky Pig. But yeah, it's one of those slipping cases. I'll put it to the side. Ticker. Don't recall this movie, but it seems to have... Well, it's got Steven Seagal in it. You know, everyone loves to hate. Dennis Hopper, which is great, and Tom Sizemore. I do really like Tom Sizemore. But I don't mind Steven Seagal. I think he is a idiot, but his early movies are cool. Alright, whoa, dropping things. Oh, this is in Italian maybe? Autant en importe levente. If anyone knows what that means, please tell me. It doesn't say English on anything. So maybe it is just in its native language. What's this? Tadpole and the Whale. Why do I recall that? A splash of an adventure. Tadpole and the Whale. I'll just show it to you. Rings a bell. Okay, interesting. Tadpole and the Whale is in there. Upside down, but it is in there. probably watch all of them eventually here. Now, all of these have no proper cases. So they come like this. Oh, what does that have on it though? Care Bears, baby songs, and more baby songs. So that should be interesting. No, it's got it's got the same thing on the inside. Back to front, of course, which is always annoying. But look at these cases though. Can you see the embossing on these cases? Interesting. Stack them up. This one's an even more weird case. It's like with those soft clamshells. The Living Planet. I'm assuming it's like a environmental program. Polar Bear Doco. Just a plain case. Well, on the side it just says Polar Bears. Interesting. I like the cases though, they're pretty cool. We're nearing the end of box 1. This doesn't have anything written on the outside. And it says, oh my god, this has been written on so Another Living Planet. You can see the classic way of writing on your old VHS tapes. So another environmental planet type 1. You can see that stack's getting quite high. First box is empty. Oh, this is the second box. This was the box I initially saw on the side of the road. Alright, kind of like a packing box. Ah, goodness me. Alright, first one. A Knight's Tale. Good movie, I liked it. Heath Ledger, rest in peace. It is in there, as you can see. I'm not going to open it up and dig too deep. Where do I start? Congo. Now, here's the thing. I saw, this is empty. This is Congo. Good movie, but it is empty. But I did see, was it this one? That there was one of these in one of these cases, but what it is in fact is Congo, because Civic Video. Okay, it's got a Civic Video sticker. But if you, I don't know if you can see that. Can you even see that? Right there. Right there. Can you? Let's pick it up. So that would be that one. I'm just going to put it straight back in there. Is that from Civic Video? Yes, it's a Civic Video one. So that will be the one. It's just lost its sticker, which is a bit of a shame. If I find it in the box, I will just reapply some glue to it and stick it back on. It's good that that was in there. Kick Aerobics Oz Style. I don't know if anyone in Australia remembers Aerobics Oz Style. It used to be on in the mornings, every morning. Girls on a Sydney pier doing aerobics. I think every man in the planet used to get up to watch just that. And it is in there. But this must be the Kick Aerobics version of it. Alright. Randomly pick out the next one. Love Actually, you know, Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, that's a good actor, Keira Knightley, Martine McCutcheon, Bill Nighy, good actor, Rowan Atkinson, good actor. Not a movie I actually remember seeing, so maybe I haven't. It is in there, I'm not going to bother opening it. How high are we stacked? Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, great movie. I love this sticker. Video Easy. For sale, previously viewed, quality guaranteed for $4.95. And it is in there, but which one's in there? Yes, it is in there. And it's actually in really good shape. It's got action down the side. Start a fresh pile down here. Grab another random one. Ghost. Come on, we've all seen Ghost. Well, most of us that are older have seen Ghost. It's just taped up for some reason. Taped up. Let's just stick that to the box. The real, oh no, well it's got Ghost on the top of it, so it is in there, but the sticker on it is a real basic one, so maybe it got peeled off. I don't really know. Inside seems pretty cool. It's a good movie. You know, I think I've seen Ghost so many times that it is not as amazing as it used to be. Another one. Haha, HR Puff and Stuff. I wonder if I have this one. This one's Jimmy Who. No, I don't have the one. I have quite a few HR Puff and Stuff VHS now, and I used to watch this when I was a kid. Trippy TV show. I think it was 70s. Might be wrong. Well, that says 1997, but that would be the distribution date, I would assume. it is in there. Definitely feeling this case is on back to front because that shouldn't be like that. But anyway, very cool, very freaky. I mean, like, they made things different back then. But I used to watch this show a lot when I was a kid. I'll add it to my collection of HR pop and stuff. With my kids, whatever. When I watch it and get freaked out. Fat burner, yeah, I love exercise videos. I might actually even do some of these. I used to remember she was one of the this lady here. She was one of the Aerobics Oz Style girls. In fact, I used to always look for her in the morning. Oh, that was a long time ago, and it is in there. Her. There's a memory. Alright, cool. Classic Happy Gilmore. This is really awesome. I don't think you understand how amazing it is for me to find all of these. Happy Gilmore is in there. Should speed this up a little bit. Someone Like You, Ashley Judd, Greg Kinnear, and Hugh Jackman. It's early. I'm assuming 90s. Can't see a date. Well, it says 2001, but that might be the distribution date. Movies in there back to front, which is annoying. Someone Like You. Oh look, I'll watch it. I'll see what it looks like. Okay. Cool. Not too, excited by that one, but this is another French one. Les Fugitives. That's got Gerard Depardieu and Pierre Richard. I don't know who that is. That's a French movie. It's got to be. So somebody maybe like to watch French movies. It's in there. Actually, this looks really familiar. Maybe it had. Maybe it had in English. Maybe it's got subtitles. Can't tell. But this looks familiar. In fact, I might have seen a version of this on TV with subtitles. Katharine Hepburn, Mrs. Delafield Wants to Marry. Wow, old school. Good old Katharine Hepburn. Sorry, that's the front there. I just wanted to show the back. And it's in there. This is a classic actress, or actor as they like to be called now. Let's do this one. Great movie, Unbreakable. Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis, outstanding performances in this movie. Is it in there? Yes, it is. Cool blue case too. Is it Civic Video? Yeah, Civic Video. They got a lot of things from Civic Video. Cool. I'm gonna have to count these later. Alright, Down with Love. Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor. Now I think I've seen this movie, I don't remember it. It's in there. But they're both good actors, so I'll be happy to watch it again. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yes. Classic movie. Look, I haven't seen this for so long, I'd have to rewatch it to remember it. It's been taped up as well. Alright, Breakfast at Tiffany's is actually in there, and I will 100% watch that. Let's grab this one. Harry Potter.
What an idiot.
We just watched one of them tonight with the kids. I think it was the second one, maybe the third one. Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, cool. Actually, I'm not sure. I've got a Harry Potter one. Could even be this one. I don't know. I'll have to pass one on to somebody. Cool movies, man. I got nothing against Harry Potter movies. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with Harry Potter's author right now, but I'm not going to get into that. The movies are good. American History X, very good movie. Very good movie. Very controversial back in the day. Is it in there? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, look at this inside. Look inside this case here. Look at all the old movies. Very cool. Needs to be rewound though. Naughty, naughty. Let's stick that up here. Alright, now there's a bit of a mix down here. I haven't seen any of these yet when I was poking around. Let's just grab one. I don't know what that means. It says All Sane. See that? It says All Sane. I don't know what that means. I'll have to check that out and see what's on there. Bring It On. No slipcase. Actually, let's use this slipcase here. Erin Brockovich was meant to be in this one. Let's put this in here. Bring It On in there. I don't remember. It's a dance movie, I think. Don't care too much about it. But it's cool. The Horseman on the Roof. What the heck is that? And it's got its own slipcase. It says please return here, which obviously did not happen. See, please return. It's got a weird slipcase. Picture Bride. Horseman on the Roof, starring Academy Award-winning Juliette Binoche from the English patient. Oh, it's even got a little thing here saying 2 strangers, only chance for survival is each other. Interesting, never heard of it. Full-length screener for video retailers only. Oh, so it's a screener for their TV screens in the video shop. Let's go. Oh my god. The best of, I don't know what that is. Johnny Cash, maybe? The Simpsons, 30 Minutes. The Nanny, NYPD Blue. They really went hard on changing things up here. The Don Lane Show. That's what it was. The best of the Don Lane Show. I don't know. It's a bit of a mix. I don't even know what's really on there. Oh. I can see some other actual cases at the bottom of that. This one has nothing written on it. Oh no, sorry. Oh, can you even read any of that? Can you read that? I can't read that. I don't know what's on there. No idea. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Alright, another one. Oh, classic to be written on. Bassif tape, 120 minutes. Never-ending story. Classic. Classic that's on there. An Affair to Remember. Voyage something. Don't know. Affair to Remember is the only one I can see on there. Vaguely rings a bell. Let's check this one. Labyrinth. We're doing really well. We've got The Never-Ending Story and Labyrinth, which my kids love this movie. I introduced them to this and they love it, which is awesome. How cool is that? Classic. That's got to stay the way it is. Alright, let's get another one that's here. This I cannot read. Episodes of something. No, that has a, I can't read that. I don't know what that is. It's got an episodes of something. We're just going to get all the recorded ones first. The Patriot, great movie. I don't know if I own it on VHS, but this doesn't really technically count. It's just a recorded one. It's in this one here. Oh, what the heck is this? Southern Star Duplicate. I thought it was like just in a slipcase. Children of the Revolution, I think that's what it says. State Management, State Manic. But then you look at this weird thing. It's actually printed on there. Judy Davis, Sam Neill, Richard. It must be some kind of movie. I've never heard of it. Jeffrey Rush, Ronnie Abraham. It's a legit movie though. Put it aside. Figure it out. Maybe I'll find a case for it one day. The Mask of Zorro. And it says it on that side as well. The Mask of Zorro. That's a pretty cool movie. 40 Days and 40 Nights. And this one, no, well actually it doesn't have that on it. This says Erin Brockovich. So I think that case down here somewhere, one of these ones, is the written on thing for this. I'll have to swap around. Erin Brockovich is very cool movie. In fact, Aaron Eckhart, who was in this movie, I met him when I was working in film on one of the film sets. So it's an empty case, that's okay. Find something for that, we'll put it at the back. No, what's in here? Well, this has CBS Fox seal of approval, so I wonder what was in here. Michael, I don't know. What's this down here? Michael, and Michael, I don't know. Cigano special, I can't read that. Too hard. Put it up there and figure it out later. Alright, what else has been recorded over? Because I can see some of the good ones in here. It says The Truman Show. What's in here though? Is it The Truman Show? Yes, it is the Truman. Well, it says it's The Truman Show. I guess we'll have to figure it out when we get to it. It's upside down though. Alright, now we've got actual VHS tapes. Let's start with the top one. The Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear. Cool, very classic. It's in there. And the imposter in this is Harry Potter's uncle. Can't remember his name though. Classic, Rain Man. I mean, it's a good movie. I'm not going to pass up on any of these that are good movies. And it's in. Oh, they make. These are the cases I don't like. They made certain of these cases. See the inside of it like that? It won't actually sit in properly because of where this is lined up. You have to turn them back to front to make the spine line up, and I hate that because you can't see the name and his see that little flippy bit that goes at the back of the pages. Anyway, Rain Man's cool. I like that. What's this next one? The Nanny. This is old then. Betty Davis, Wendy Craig and Jill Bennett. It's an old movie and it's in there. Alright, let's do this one. This is really old. Fantasia. Very old. But look at the case. Is it in there? Yeah. Back to front. It's in there. This is very old. It's the soft, weird ones. Oh, great. Great film. Is it in there though? Yes, it is. Dances with Wolves. Giving up the winner Western Grand Canyon trip sticker on the front. Excellent movie. You can bag out Kevin Costner. The guy is an excellent method actor, and it's in there. It's got a weird kind of thing, but very, very good actor. Oh, I am running out of room up here. Royal Wedding, never heard of it, but it has got Fred Astaire in it. Jane Powell, I don't know. I might know her visually if I see her. And it is in there. I like these movies though. Oh, the stack's getting a bit scary over there. Snow Falling on Cedars. I have this, I think, on DVD or Blu-ray, one of the two. I have never got. Oh, okay. It's one of these ones that's sealed. It's actually sealed. I wonder what that's worth. It's good. What they do in Australia, I don't know if they do this in the States. The States have the cardboard slip cases, and then they slot them in. They shrink wrap around the outside of the case. In Australia, they do just a case that can get all weathered on the outside, but the actual tape is sealed. I have a few sealed tapes inside cases, including a Mad Max Road Warrior one, which is awesome. But this one, I don't know, I'd have to look. Is it worth anything? Oh, it's got a split case, but I guess I could change that. I heard this was good. But yeah, it's sealed, so that's interesting. Oh, cool. I remember seeing this, All of Me. This is Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin. I remember this movie. This case is wrong though. Oh, they've cut a box. Okay, cool. So they've cut a box, and I don't like when people do that, but they've cut a box from the slipcase boxes. It's in there, and they've put it on a case because they wanted the inner case. But it's still cool. Oh, I was just talking about this movie the other day with my wife. We went to Hanging Rock, and I was talking about the movie and watching the movie. But look, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Great. Hanging Rock's amazing. And it's in there. Cool. I'm going to start stacking to the side. Let's put that there. We'll find out if it's in one of the other cases. Trapped in Paradise. It's almost very similar to a Grumpy Old Men cover. Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. Oh, Dana Carvey's in it. Cool, he's in it. Come on. Yep, it's in there. Cool. Trapped in Paradise. But that looks very much like a Grumpy Old Men cover, the way they're dressed. Which I saw at the cinema. Meet Joe Black, good movie. Interesting story about Satan. Haven't seen that for a long time. Doris Day, Ray Bolger, April in Paris. I think I saw this one time in an op shop and didn't pick it up, but it's in there. I guess we can watch it if I ever have enough time to watch everything. Now, I do remember this movie. Oh wow, I do remember this movie. Does anyone remember Always? Whoa, this is falling out, but it's in there. Always? I remember this movie. I remember the whole movie. It was something to do with firefighting. Falling in love. It's got Holly Hunter, who was a real cutie when she was younger, Richard Dreyfuss and John Goodman. Heartwarming and romantic adventure. Legendary pilot with a passion for daredevil firefighting. Woman he loves is Dorinda. Pete's best friend. The legend cannot take risks forever. After sacrificing himself to save Al, the ace pilot faces his most challenging mission: help Dorinda move on with her life. I think he comes back as a ghost or something. I can't remember. It's been a very long time, but very cool. I'll definitely have to give that a watch. Oops. This doesn't want to close. There's no problem. Oh, it's one of these reverse ones. No? Oh, okay. That's right. I fixed it. Alright, we're nearly at the end of this box. We've got 4 more to go in this box. The Parent Trap. This is the original Parent Trap, not the 80s one, I think it was, that they remade. This is the original Disney Parent Trap, and it is in there, so that's pretty cool. Mr. Holland's, hang on, yeah, Mr. Holland's Opus. I can't remember who acted in that. Richard Dreyfuss. I did like Richard Dreyfuss, it's in there. Cool, it's old school. I think this might actually be 80s. I have to double check that. Or early 90s. It says copyright 1995, but I'm not sure how true that is. Saving Private Ryan. I mean, anybody that likes war movies or is interested in history and has seen this movie, you know how brutal this movie was and how well shot it was too.
Maybe you should shut up.
And the last one is an excellent, is it? No, this isn't the one I thought it was going to be. Oh, it's 2 movies in one. I saw on the side The Proposition, but it's this, The Proposition. I thought it was going to be the Aussie Proposition. Kenneth Branagh, Madeline Stone, William Hurt. Good actors. And the other one was 1,000 Acres. I'm assuming an epic, oh, is it Michelle Pfeiffer? Michelle Pfeiffer. That was my teenage crush, Michelle Pfeiffer, over there. And Jessica Lange. I haven't seen it. It looks like one of those, like, you know, epic, I don't know, dramas. Alright, that's box number 2, the second biggest box done, the one I saw from the street. Empty, oh my god, what a long video. I don't have much room in the studio, so let's move straight on to the third and largest box. This box is monstrous. Final Destination. Great movie. Is it in there? Is this the movie? Yes, it is. Please slot in properly. I'm feeling like I need to drink some water. But I have water, so I don't need to drink. Denial and Sour Grapes. This says from the creators of Seinfeld, so that would be interesting. I believe he was in Seinfeld. They keep talking about it, but who he was. I'd have to rewatch that. The Denial, I don't know anything about. Is it in there? Yes, it is in there. Rob Schneider, the animal. Oh no, it's a stupid movie, but it's funny. Most of these stupid movies. Funny enough, Life or Something Like It. You can tell there's a lot of like romancy. Angelina Jolie's in that one. Edward Norton. Is that Angelina Jolie? It doesn't really look like it right there. Edward Norton? No. Edward. What's his name? Edward Burns. Okay. Well, interesting. I don't know if it's in there. It does. Oh no, it is. The label is in the box, but it has come off. So I'll have to fix this one back onto later. Regular price, and then sale price was $2.95. So it must have been a really popular movie. Too Fast, Too Furious. Well, it was falling out of its box. It's in there. I don't mind these movies.
I don't have friends.
There's, you know, I don't think much of them, but I don't mind them if you want just blind action. I mean, people that grew up in the 80s and 90s, we know all about just watching things because of action. A bit chaotic over here. Let's do this one because it has no case. Control Stress. I'll watch this one first. Got no idea. That'd be interesting. I would hope it would be something really kitschy. Groundhog Day. Who doesn't love Groundhog Day? This is awesome. Is it in there? Yes, it is. Classic movie. My favourite line. Don't drive angry. It's got the hedgehog, no, the groundhog driving the car over the cliff. Don't drive angry. $3.50. Cool. Very happy with that. Love Bill Murray. Jet Li. Good old Jet Li. We talk about, oh, and this label's come off too. All the labels have come off. Wow, they must have been in a really damp spot in the house, but there's the label. Both the top and bottom label have fallen off. Try to reattach those. But we're talking about foreign films and some of our videos and their resurgence in the 90s. Cases, oh, case is broken. So maybe some moisture got in there and made the labels fall off. But yeah, Jet Li, Kiss the Dragon, very cool. Running out of room over here. I have to move this over here. Hopefully not knock it over. Abbott and Costello, old school. These are the American style slipcases in there. It says live and hilarious. Don't know how live that one really is. We'll put it up here.
First, that's the man's name. That's whose name? Yeah. Well, go ahead and tell me.
My best friend's wedding. I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, it's not my best friend's wedding. Oh, wait, it is. They've got a case, and then they've got my best friend's wedding on here. So I don't know really what happened there. Not too interested in watching it. Double Team. But Double Team's on there. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman and Mickey Rourke. That would be the one I'd want to watch. It's funny that it's the copy of the movie in there instead of the real one. Not that I'm interested, to be honest. Alright, what's this? Ernest Borgnine, great actor. He was in The Black Hole. That's what I remember him from whenever I think of Ernest Borgnine, but he was in McHale's Navy and a lot of other stuff. Great actor. That's got a blockbuster sticker on it. How cool is that? Yeah, man, never seen it. Betsy Blair, Ernest Borgnine in Marty. But how cool is this guy? Man, handsome dude before he got old and Marty. Yeah, it is there. He was always very cool, regardless of age. Grab the next one. Notting Hill. Someone Likes Julia Roberts. It's in there. I'm not going to open it. I guess it was probably a good movie. I'd have to watch it again and see. Not terribly interested. Another slipcase. This is one that slips off from the top. Okay. And it has the stamping on it as opposed to a sticker, but it's contact. It's a good movie. Yeah, Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. Interesting that it's in a slipcase, but it's cool. Put it up there. I'm really scared of knocking this all over. What's this one? A Walk in the Clouds and it's two movies. A Walk in the Clouds and 9 Months. This is a dealer preview tape, so it plays one movie after the other. It hasn't got a slipcase. I'll try to find one for it. What Lies Beneath, Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. I think I've seen it. Can't remember. And this one's also got a label falling off. Yeah, and the label's falling off, but it is the right label. We'll fix it later. Please don't fall. One Fine Day. It's when Harry and Sally were single parents. Michelle Pfeiffer and George Clooney. So someone like Michelle Pfeiffer. I think it's a romantic comedy. Don't really know. Film drama, romantic drama, if there's such a thing. We're running out of room over here. The Andy Griffith Show. And it is in there. Sorry, I'm putting things low because of how big this box is. Let's move on. There. Just grabbing the Blues Brothers 2000. Is this the one where they're in the future? I can't remember. I guess it is. It was never a really good movie, but it wasn't a terrible movie. It just wasn't a good movie. Blues Are Back. And it's in there. I would never say no to that. It's got a great Civic Video sticker. I'm running out of battery, by the way, guys, so hopefully it doesn't die while we're doing it. Well, this has got a weird case. The Parent Trap, another Parent Trap. Maybe that's a newer one. It doesn't have a date on it though. It's fun. A weird blank case. Classic Phantom Menace. No one likes it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Visually, it's amazing.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Story-wise, yeah, it's in there. Story-wise, you know, not the best retelling of what he originally wanted, but anyway, this says Major Pain. Here's Major Pain. Funny movie.
He just kept chugging along. Chugga 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 toot toot.
I'm not gonna delve too deep in that one. Oh god, I'm running out of room. Summer Stock. Judy Garland and Gene Kelly. So it'll be a song and dance movie. Can't remember ever seeing it. Doesn't matter. High Society. I've seen this in op shops. Is it top or bottom opening? Oh, it's actually sealed all the way across, so it's got a little flippy thing at the top. Did I check if it's in there? Let's check. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, I like mine old movies. I remember ever seeing it. I grew up watching Danny Kaye and Jerry Lewis and lots of other. This hasn't no. I don't even know what's on this. It's got nothing to tell me what's on it. It'll be one of the mystery ones that we have to figure out later on. Nothing stamped on either. That's cool. That's a cool movie. Sleepless in Seattle. Is it in there? Yes. It's a good movie. I don't bag out movies that are romantic. So, like Untamed Heart was one of my favourite movies from back in the day. American Beauty, you know, controversial a little bit and definitely pushed some buttons, but good movie. Michael, He's an Angel, Not a Saint, John Travolta. I vaguely remember seeing this movie. I don't recall anything about it. It's in there. Warning, this is time-coded trade preview cassette only. Is it legal to hire or rent this cassette? Interesting. Okay. What's this? Sharp convection microwave cooking video. Maybe this might be worth something. It's actually there. Look. Hey, it's like you could cook this black and white food. It's all going to turn out great. Alright, some more recorded tapes. I don't know what that says. Last expired? No. Keep I don't know. Got no idea. Can't read it. I'm getting into dangerous territory here. Stargate episodes. I guess we'll find out. That stack's getting a bit crazy up there. The Care Bears meet Alice in Wonderland. Okay, that would be an interesting scenario. Oh dear, I'm starting to get. I need to shift these around. They're going to get wobbly. Alright, grab another one. This one doesn't have a cover. Mouse Hunt. No case. Let's start stacking over this one. The Lucy Show. I love Lucy. You know I love Lucy. I say I love Lucy.
Remember that name.
Lucy Show Volume 3. Cool. Baba and Father Christmas. Ooh. So unless somebody... Oh no, it is the real movie. Someone's just lost the label. That's fine. Shipping News, never saw it. I'm really hoping for some other ones I might like, but it's got you know, controversial Kevin Spacey in it, Julianne Moore, Judi Dench, and Kate Blanchett. I'm sure it's a good movie. Never seen it. The Little Match Girl, Brigadoon. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, there's some DVDs mixed in here. Let's move them to the side. Let's just put them in here. Actually, let's just talk about it now. Oh, wait a minute. Is this a DVD? Oh, it's a DVD. Oh, it's got no case and it is scratched badly, so it probably won't work. Phil Collins, Live and Loose in Paris. If this wasn't scratched or it did work, I would watch this. Albano and Romina Power. Is it in there? I don't even know. No, nothing. Black case. That's okay. I didn't expect those, nor did I really want them. But they're there. Curious George. Is it in there? No. Barbie. Is it in there? Yes. Probably scratched. Very, very scratched. I've not got any interest in those whatsoever, but it's okay. Sharks. That's just got sharks on it. It's okay. I hope they're nice sharks. Erin Brockovich. Is this the case? I was talking about Erin Brockovich before, but there's no VHS in here unless it's the one. So that will be a blank case. Alright, what's this one? Music from Another Room and Velvet Goldmine. Hey, Velvet Goldmine's a great movie. Music from Another Room, I don't know. It's in there. Sorry, I'll show you the cover. There's a few more copied ones. Oh, no way. Is that? Wow. Okay, I'll have to come back to that one in a second. This is a blank one. There's anything written on it. Save the last dance. Okay, no interest in that, but that can go up there. Another one, blank. Oh, okay. June 2000. Preview only, not for resale. Gorgeous with Jackie Chan. And Fortress 2 re-entry. What? Christopher Lambert and Pam Grier. Two great people. Fortress 2? I didn't know there was a Fortress 2. Okay, definitely have to watch that. I love the original Fortress. Oh, come on. Fortress is a great movie. Christopher Lambert. I definitely want to see Fortress 2. What's this one? Oh, I've got emergency something. It's in pink. Written up here. The Mummy Returns. I would never even have picked that as being on there. Babe, I see this out and about. Not too interested. Good movie, but not terribly interested. Schindler's List. Cool. Okay. Oh look, they've even stuck on a little thing about Schindler's List on a gold case. They're getting really scary right now. Good Will Hunting, good movie. Love Robin Williams. Matt Damon. Damon's in it. It's in there. Worth having. Oh gosh, I don't even know what this one's. French Singers. Scent of a Woman. Hoo-ha! Oh yeah, cool. Let's balance. We're doing some balancing. About halfway now. Now, when I said before, whoa, I have to check on that in a second. This, man, this is, I think actually this is quite an expensive movie.
How about new?
Wages of Fear. I think I have checked this out on eBay before and it's actually kind of expensive. I'll check later though, maybe do some B-roll voice over the top, but man, this movie is it's old too. Look, Wages of Fear. Old. It's an old movie. It's about some criminals that were given a chance to be free and get money if they transport highly explosive nitroglycerin across like a South American country, and how they survive, try to get through. It's a real classic movie. I'm super stoked that this is at least one of the ones that I found. There's a lot here that I probably don't really want, but man, this is awesome. Saved me having to look for it. I was looking at it one stage on eBay. Oh dear, we got some more DVDs that probably aren't there. No. Lego Friends, not there. Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure, we already own that. It's not there, so it doesn't matter. And I don't know, a blank TDK disc. Maybe I can play it and see if there's something on there. It is a CD one, so it's probably got music on it. Toto. No, that was his Patrizio Buona, the Italian. There's nothing written on it. I've got no idea. I'll have to play it and see what's on there. This one says Bat Out of Hell. Nothing in there. Bat Out of Hell says on there, but it's not in there. The very best of the Bee Gees. With a blank disc in there. There was a subset of people that burnt discs that didn't care about writing on the actual disc. They'd write on the sleeve but not on the disc. Numerous favourites. With a blank disc. And Mrs. Brown's Boys. Kind of chewed up. Alright, we're nearing beyond halfway. Made for Each Other. James Stewart, Carol Lombard. Is it in there? Yep, it's in there. I don't know, I've never seen it. Old school movie. I'm going to run out. GG, classic movie. I'm assuming it's in there. My battery is getting very low. GG's in there. So cool. I don't want it to be over there. Put it up here. Tea with Mussolini. I can't recall seeing it, but I do remember it coming out. sharing it. Okay. Is it in there? Yeah. Oh gosh, I mean, I was hoping for a lot more horror, but Milo and Otis, I'll tell you what, I do not want to own this movie. If you know the truth of the story of how they made Milo and Otis and how many animals died in the making of this, you would not watch this on. They did not care about what happened to those animals. They just used them up and let them die. Waking the Dead, Jennifer Connelly and Billy Crudup. Oh, it's a double. A Soldier's Daughter Never Cries. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's got both on there. I don't recall, besides Waking the Dead, I don't recall the other one. The Gingerbread Man.
Oh yeah, I'm real, alright.
It's got, who's it got? Kenneth Branagh, and okay, so Daryl Hannah, a few other people. I'm not going to go through them all. Running out of battery here. Fools Rush In. Preview cassette. Don't know anything about it. Oh, this pile. Oh, there's a few more recorded ones at the bottom here. Criminal Intent. In a blank one. Mortal Kombat. Copied. Gladiator. Classic Gladiator. Start sticking in the front here. Is it in there? Please tell me it's in there. Yes, Reservoir Dogs. Great movie. It's in there. Fatima. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Don't know what it is. What's it say? Forrest Gump. Guess everybody has to own Forrest Gump at some stage. Let's put it there. Oh gosh, something sounds broken in there. Oh, that tape is broken. I actually have no idea what's on this tape. It's got something broken on it. Let's just put it to the side. Notting Hill. Did we not already look at one for Notting Hill? That's what we did. Maybe we got doubles. What is this? Slingshot. The sky's the limit. Velocity 100. Okay. This is just some kind of park ride video. Maybe it's worth something. I've got no idea. Not terribly interested. The Fifth Element and Bad Boys. Okay. Getting down to the bottom here. Music shows, film, Mr. Roberts. Don't know. A Knight's Tale been overwritten with The Mentalist. Cuba PD, Opal City, Opal Capital. Okay, cool, interesting. Mrs. Dalloway, Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. I don't know, never seen it. There might be some that need to find you home. Thomas Crown Affair. Rene Russo and Pierce Brosnan. Oh, they're both good actors. I don't remember ever seeing that movie. Portrait of a Lady. Nicole Kidman, John Malkovich and Barbara Hershey. I vaguely remember seeing this movie, but I couldn't tell you anything about it, that's for sure. Now we'll get down to copied ones. Love Among the Ruins. Never seen it. Very old movie. Let's just stack it here. Top Gear. Uninterested. I mean, cars are interesting. I'm interested, but not that. The Castle. Classics I have copied on VHS. Strangers on a Train. British version. Alfred Hitchcock's. Hey, that's worth having. I like Alfred Hitchcock. Awesome. Here. A French Woman. I don't know. Don't think I've ever seen it. Seems to be quite a bit of Die Hard and Men in Black, but it says on the front Almost Famous. Billy Elliot. Is it Billy Elliot? Yeah, it's a good movie. Not good enough. Alright, lots of copied ones. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Copied. Let's get this stuff come out. This one just says blank, but I don't know, it could have anything on it really. Aerobics. Oh, there's Almost Famous. I'll have to put that back in its dodgy case. Wizard of Oz. I don't know, documentary movie. I don't know what this is about. Poirot. I think it's a thriller guy. Blue Collar Comedy. Don't know, never heard of it. I don't even know what that says. Poirot, Inspector Poirot. So, you know, mystery. Look, hey, you can't get through life in the 90s or the 80s, probably the 90s to the early 2000s without having a party mix on CD. I'd love to see what's on that. It's very scratched though. Yeah, it's probably not going to play. That'll be another coaster for me. But it's cool that it says party mix, I'll just keep it for that. Miss Congeniality. No case. Alright, now, last few. Okay, Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca.
Is looking at you, kid.
It's in there. Classic movie. Humphrey Bogart again, I think. Audrey Hepburn in Sabrina. Black and white. It's cool. Anyway, check, yeah. Sabrina. Sabrina's in there. Barbara Streisand, Omar Sharif, Funny Girl. This is a classic movie. Classic movie, old school. Is it in there? Oh, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. It's just back to front. Funny Girl. Oh, Funny Lady. So that must be the next one. James Caan. Cromwell. Oh, I'd love to see that. Richard Harris, Robert Morley, Dorothy Toten, Patrick Wymark, and Patrick McGee. Cromwell. It's you know, historical. Knights and Stuff. Private Benjamin. Let's just make sure it's in there. Yeah, the case is pretty chewed up. Yeah, pretty cool there. Laurel and Hardy, Them Thar Hills, Tit for Tat. Pretty funny. Down to the last ones. I think we're not going to get any more cases. The Three Musketeers, Lana Turner, Gene Kelly, and June Ellison. So this will be old. Still happy I got all of these, man, regardless. Philips quality cassette. It's very heavy. The Three Tenors, oh god, please tell me. Maybe there's something else in here. Oh, it's got nothing written. No, the Three Tenors. Three Tenors, a very heavy tape. I don't know why that's so heavy. Maybe it's... Oh, it's because it's 3 hours and 15 minutes on this tape. That's why it's so heavy. It's got a lot of tape in there. Ultimate Drive, golfing video. Well, that's in there. I can see it. Open it. Mel Brooks, The Producers. I'd be happy to have that. Let's see the original one. Interesting. Oh, that's going to fall. Please don't fall. Okay, let's get this on the floor. Hey, that's a great movie. Pity there's no case with it though. Last Man Standing. That's a cool movie. I actually don't own that on DVD or VHS. Bruce Willis. It was made to be like a bit like Hell Rider or one of those Clint Eastwood movies where a man goes into town and sets off one gang against the other. Don't know what that one is. Can't even read it. CSI. White tape. Well, something's been written on. Oh, don't even know what's on that one. Can't tell. Down to the last one, CSI and Stingers, written out, crossed out, I don't know what's on it. The Great Escape, Tasmanian Miners, Nature Documentary. This is, stickers for cassettes, cool. Don't know what that says, free, November, free, I don't know what that means. Don't even know what the development, something like I don't know what that is. Not terribly worried. I'll go through some of these eventually. And the pencil one, I can't read it. I don't know what's on that one either. Last 5. Auntie Solange's Baba tape. It's actually been written over the top of a real movie, whatever that movie was. Possession. Do not erase, it says. Oh, this has got another thing with stickers in it. What is it called? I have to look that one up. Interesting. Possession. Last 3. Film. Lethal Weapon.
Have a nice day.
Kung Fu. I don't know. Kung Fu film. Doesn't say much else beside that. Please don't fall. Last one. Last one. Mary Poppins. We ended with Mary Poppins and Care Bears. Mary Poppins and Care Bears. That's the last tape. Oh my god, there's so many. And a disc just fell out. And that's not even a good one. Eros Ramazzotti. Who cares? Like Party Mix 2. Well, that's it, guys. That's all of them. I wonder how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 178 VHS tapes. Now that's all together. I haven't counted the real ones in the cases versus the ones that have been copied. But 178 cassettes. I didn't actually think there was that many in there. That is a lot of cassettes. And this has been an hour and 14 long. An hour and 14 minutes long, so I might have to split this up regardless. It's a long finds video. I wouldn't say it's got amazing stuff. These boxes have amazing stuff in them, but there are some standout ones in here for sure. I'm really happy to see that Fortress 2, like the double movie one with Fortress 2 in it. American History X, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Unbreakable. What else was there? Rain Man, Knight's Tale, Congo. There were some good ones, but right now I'm just going to pack it up. We're down to 10% of my battery at the moment, so we need to wind this up. Interesting. Look, 3 boxes side of the road. I never would have owned any of these if I didn't pick them up. There's definitely some fun ones in here. There's some great ones like the classic Labyrinth and Never-Ending Story being on copied VHS tapes. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and you know, we'll sort them out, we'll clean them all up, and then we'll find a place for them when I put new shelves over there, because that is a mess over there. I just wanted to say thank you very much for bearing with me, but I hope you did stick with me, because I know it was an epic video. Make sure that if you did enjoy any of what we discussed today, or any of my other videos, to make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and ultimately at the end of the day, if you don't like my content later, you can always just unsubscribe. But if you can subscribe now, hit that like button and turn on the bell notifications if that's the kind of thing you're into, and make sure you just stick with me. We're a small channel, getting bigger minute by minute, getting more subscribers, which is good. Love that physical media. Bring on those toys, bring on all of the stuff that makes us feel something, that makes us happy. And yeah, I hope to see you very soon on other videos. I have other stuff over there in those piles that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet, so we'll get to those. Neon Doom out. Have a great one. See you in the next video. Alright, hi. Hey everybody. Let's do that again.